Welcome back to the Spiked and Psyched podcast. This is episode 9, and you might notice that today it's just me and Kyle. I guess I should introduce myself. My name is Val Constein. I'm a Nike athlete, Olympian, CU alumni.
My name's Kyle. I'm Val's trophy fiance.
It's true.
Feel good about that. Yeah, episode 9. It's been like 3 weeks since we've done a episode just with the two of us. I guess 7 of our episodes have been just the two of us. We've had one with a guest, but yeah, we had Ashley Jones, rock star from CO in our last episode, and it was really fun to have a guest on.
And she's cool, so
Yeah, she's pretty sweet. And yeah, so that was fun. Probably need to work on our general interviewing skills,
yeah, probably.
but that's the only way you get better at something is by doing it.
So positive as ever. Well, we were talking about how since it's been 3 weeks, since it's just been the two of us, that we would maybe give like a brief update about how things are going for both of us. So for me personally, training has been going really well. Like I was starting to settle into double T. I did a VO2 max workout. I was starting to get really comfortable with the strides that I was doing on the grass to get ready for cross country. And so, yeah, things were going really well. This past week has been a little rough, but that's just training. Sometimes you have down weeks, but then sometimes you have up weeks. And, it's just kind of managing that expectation on those down weeks.
Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect all the time. What have you been up to besides besides running?
Well, actually, at work, we have like a really big release that's coming out. And so there's actually been quite a lot of tasks that I need to do to complete these projects to make sure that the release is like super smooth. So I've been busy, like obviously outside of training with that.
I guess like on a random note, do you feel like, because right now it's kind of a weird time of year, right? From a training perspective. So I know that sometimes you're probably like, oh, I wish I didn't have a job, but do you ever feel like during the off season, it's kind of a nice thing to keep busy?
100%. I mean, I just am in such a different position than a lot of my peers because I also work a full-time job. So for me, like, yeah, when we're traveling to Europe, when we're trying to go to US Cross or I mean, outdoor championships or, you know, the Olympics or whatever, it's stressful because it's like, okay, well, I just have to take my PTO, right? But then in these in between seasons, it is actually super, super nice to have something to do because otherwise, what are you doing? You're just like laying in bed or running or maybe getting brunch with friends, spending all your money. So,
You think that's what you'd be doing? Just
yeah, and it would stress me out. I'd be like, brunch again? Another $20? Like, what am I doing with my life
just
right
choose to
now?
go to Illegal Pete's like 4 days a week.
Okay, yes. But I was in a funk and now I'm out of the funk and I've been cooking
That's true.
and it's been pretty good. But
It's true. I'm a
um,
terrible cook, so I can't complain.
Kyle can make a mean egg sandwich though.
Fuck yeah, I can't. That's right. Egg sandwich, spaghetti, mean turkey sandwich.
It's true.
PB&Js go hard always.
Smoothie. You're becoming smoothie king now.
I've always been a smoothie king. I did that in college. Just haven't made many recently, but I am again. Yeah, I have an absolute arsenal of stuff that I can make.
You can feed yourself.
Yeah, I can survive.
Yeah.
That's the important part.
And there's frozen pizzas as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
What about you, Kyle? What's been going on for you?
yeah, so I think the last time we did a pod was right before I went to Bentonville
Yeah.
with Mr. Phil,
Yep.
my boy Phil. So went out and biked in Bentonville for like 4 days, which was honestly super fun. Phil and I usually try to get out on a biking trip either with friends or just like ourselves like once a year. And I don't think we did anything as much like the year before. So even though it wasn't like a super long trip, it was nice to go check out Bentonville, Arkansas, which is like a weird town that Walmart built. And apparently like some of the sons in the Walmart family really love mountain biking. So they just built like tons of miles of trails, biking trails. So that was cool because it's definitely not a place that you would think of mountain biking in like Arkansas. So that was fun. So we just biked down there for 4 days. And then, yeah, I mean, besides that, same old, just working out, hanging out with you, working on this fucking house per usual.
But
So,
tomorrow you get to go play.
yeah. Gonna go play some paddle with some of the homies. But yeah, no, I mean it's been good. Same old stuff. Just like lifting a lot, I guess. Like trying to do some more cardio recently.
Yeah, Kyle was like, it's time for me to lock in.
Yeah, well, it's you know, it's what's it called? Daylight savings time, the worst day of the year when
It's
that
true.
changes. Now it's dark at like 4:45 or getting dark at 4:45, which I absolutely loathe. Um, so yeah, I don't know. Like if you're kind of locked in either way, right? If you're like working out like before or after work, because if you're working out before work, you're like waking up early, going and getting in like a workout of some kind before work, which you kind of have to be dialed to like have the discipline to get up before work and like get ready, go to the gym, get back, get ready for work. Or you're going after work, which is when it's dark.
And then
So
it's like,
it's like either way you kind of have to be locked in because you're just like leaving the house when it's dark. You know, it's like a very emo like workout vibe.
and today, Kyle, it was Veterans Day, and so we both have the day off because we work cushy tech jobs. But so today, what we did is, oh, geez, the cats are fighting. Oh,
All right. Hey.
stop doing that shit, boys.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, anyways, so we had the day off, and so this morning I did a little run, and then Kyle and I were hanging out, and we were doing chores, and one of the chores was Kyle had to like get rid of all the leaves.
Yeah.
So Kyle does this project where he's crawling on the roof with a
Yeah, I had to like clean up.
He's getting on the
Hey.
ficus.
Sorry.
Sorry.
They're idiots.
Maybe we'll cut
They're
that
gone.
out.
They're gone. Yeah, so I had to like clean out all the gutters. And then like clean up all the leaves around the house. And we have like a few massive trees around like my like lot, property, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I always underestimate how long these projects these things are gonna take. So
Yeah, he starts at like what, 3?
no, it was like 2
Okay,
or
he
like
starts at-
1:30 or
He
something.
starts at 2 and he's like, oh yeah, I should be done by like 4 and then we can podcast or I can go to the gym. Kyle doesn't get done until what, like
6. Yeah, 6. It was like
So
4 hours.
2 to 6, he's outside
Yep.
messing around with the yard and like trying to get all the leaves up.
Yep. Yeah, it's fucking sucks. But I mean, it's not of all the projects, those are like the house projects I don't really mind
Yeah.
because they're not like, oh shit,
Something's broken.
something's broken. It's just more like, hey, it's gonna make the house look better. It's not like super stressful or anything, but yeah, I mean, it's just like 4 hours of manual labor, but
And then after that, after 4 hours of manual labor, he's like, should I go to the gym?
well, yeah, because I was debating on like, should I go hop on the treadmill in our other room or go to the gym, but I've been pretty dialed on lifting, so Val's kind of like my pseudo coach, or at least that's who I always ask for
I
what I
just
should
try
do
to
from a
give
training
him
perspective.
I try to give him some motivation. So like
And motivation. Yeah, she calls me a fat boy.
I never call you a fat boy. That is not true. Kyle's always like, could I be more lean? Could I be more lean? And it's like, I don't know what you want me to say.
I
Because
don't know. It's more just just trying to get feedback.
okay.
But yeah, so yeah, and then yeah, after working outside, I went to the gym and did a lift, and then I came back, ate some quick food, and now we're podcasting. Look at us,
Look at us. We're dialed.
dedicated, dialed. Long day, lots of stuff, still getting it in. Come on,
Exactly. Can't ask for more.
yeah. But no, yeah, things are good. Things have been good with both of us. Besides maybe being a little bit like feeling a little tired,
down,
a
yeah.
little run down, whatever.
But that's okay.
It happens. It's
Training.
also like the time of year when you could get sick or feel
Well,
run down or whatever.
yeah, exactly. So I'm not worried about it. Like, it's not a big deal. And big races are way in the future. So
Yeah, all the important races aren't for a while.
yeah, exactly. It's just cross would be fun because I haven't run cross country since 2018.
No, yeah, cross is cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and you'd crush it.
thank you. I
Yeah.
think so too. And it's really cool that it's at
And a lot of people are doing it. It's cool. I think one of the coolest things about cross country, or one of the coolest things that will be about cross country, is there's a lot of people from all the different disciplines that are doing it. Like not everyone's doing it, but like I've seen people like like marathoners or
And trail runners.
trail runners, right? Yeah, like you said Taylor Tuttle's gonna do it,
Yep.
and I think I saw on Instagram like I don't even think I follow her, but Carrie Verdon,
Yeah.
old CU teammate, who runs half marathons. I think she runs marathons too, right?
I think she's run a couple marathons, but she's really good at the half marathon.
Okay, but sounds like she's gonna do cross, and
I'm doing cross.
yeah,
and,
yeah.
Like Bailey Hurtenstein's doing cross. Like it's gonna be there's gonna be some serious competition there, and so
Yeah, that'd be cool.
it would be sweet to do it, and I am definitely still training to do it.
Yeah, totally. Hey, Yandu, I'll throw you out of here, big boy.
He'll teach you how to skin a cat. How about that, Yandu?
Okay, we're gonna have to cut that out.
Yeah, we're not actually gonna do anything to our cats. I love them so
They're
much.
just we let them in here. It's a blessing and a curse sometimes.
It's cute.
Sometimes it's cute when they're just being chill, but right now they're horny,
Yeah, they are. It's
so they want to
crazy.
mess with stuff. Anyways,
Moving on.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we missed
of
over the
cool
last
running
3.
stuff.
Yeah, a lot of running things have happened in the last 3 weeks. That we kind of wanted to quickly catch up on. So I guess we'll just quickly kind of breeze through some of that stuff. So yeah, what's the
So the first thing on the document that I was hoping to talk about is
on Val's doc that she wrote out
on my
to be
cute little-
particularly dialed?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to talk about the New York City Marathon.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
It was a sick. I mean, New York City. I think if I was ever to do a marathon, hey, Yandu.
Yandu.
If I was to ever do a marathon, it would be New York City.
I know, yeah. I have to say Chicago Marathon because that's the Nike Marathon, but behind Chicago Marathon, it would be New York.
I mean, Chicago would be really cool too. I've never really spent any time in Chicago, but I've spent time in New York with my old job. So
I mean, New York is iconic.
yeah, it's such a cool city.
Exactly. So, of course, like if I was to ever get into marathons, Chicago and New York would be like the top ones that I would want to do. But anyways, back to the results. Okay.
Let's do it.
So, the men's race was a sprint to the finish where Benson Kipruto won by 0.03 seconds over Alexander Mutiso. Both men ran 2:08:09, which is crazy.
Yep.
Super fast. So then we'll kind of just so the American men who finished in the top 10 were Joel Reichow.
Yeah, he had yes. He was who does
The Minnesota team.
Yeah, Joel Reichow. He runs for the Minnesota Distance Elite.
Yep, and he ran 2:09:56.
Yeah, I mean, a guy, again, one thing that's always crazy about the marathon, you don't see this happen very often on the track, but the marathon, people just come out of the woodwork
I know.
sometimes.
It just
Like,
takes one
I
day.
mean, not to say like some, obviously, like more educated people on the marathon, and I would never claim to be well educated on the marathon,
Right.
like from a person.
Well, we don't
that,
really
like,
watch it that much.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, never heard of the guy, and he goes and beats a lot of really awesome, I mean, really deep American field. So,
Well,
which
you
is you
know,
kind of got to love about running. You got to always root for the underdog, at least
mean,
for me.
the thing about the marathon, I think that this really shows is that like if you had a 99% day, that could be 2 minutes.
Yeah, totally.
But if you have a 100% day, then all of a sudden you're like running freakishly fast, right? And so, you know, those like an off day really shows. But anyways, so he was 6th and then Charles Hicks was 7th.
Yeah, what in his debut.
I know. And
he's young. Yeah, he's super young.
He's super young. And then Joe
And-
Klecker was actually 10th
Yeah.
with a 2:10:37. And that was Joe's first marathon as well.
Yeah, which I think is a really solid debut.
Totally. To be top 10. I mean, for both these men, Charles and Klecker, like,
I think yeah, Charles Hicks, I mean, I feel like relatively he's been pretty quiet since he graduated college, because obviously he was really good in
he
college,
was a
but
star in college. Yeah.
he took one of the kind of like a Connor Mance move, someone who could have been probably good on the track.
Yep.
You know, was good on the track before he left college, and instead just made the jump to the marathon, which is always kind of one of those things where it's like, it's kind of a big step.
Totally.
And yeah, he knocked it out of the park. I mean, and that's just his first one.
I
So
know.
I'd be curious, like, to compare, like, what did Connor Mance run his first marathon? You know?
I don't know, but that is a good question. Okay, on to the women's race, was the women's race was won with a course record of 2:19:51 by the Helen O'Beary, trains here in Boulder. And then second was Sharon Lochetti, Stephen Haas's athlete.
Yep.
Shout out
yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah, shout out Stephen, shout out team total.
And then I was going to talk.
Yeah. Good, really good race between
Crazy
those
good.
two. Yeah.
Yeah, and so then the Americans who were in the top 10 were Fiona O'Keefe, fourth, with a 2:22:49.
Fourth in a world major is pretty nuts.
You got to think, now she's like, okay, I want a podium.
Yeah.
Of course, it might take her until next year to accomplish that because, I mean, turning around and trying to do like Valencia or Berlin would be hard, but she probably could if she was super motivated. But it's pretty amazing that, you know, she was able to get fourth in New York because New York is a hard course. There's a lot of bridges, which make quite a bit of elevation gain and loss, which is just tough on your body. And then Annie Frisbee was fifth with a 2:24:12.
And not to discredit them by any means, but another person I'd never heard of.
I had heard of her before.
But also from Minnesota Distance Elite. So
yeah, they're doing something right up there. Up north.
Minnesota. Shout out Minnesota.
And Emily Sisson was eighth, which is great to see her back on the circuit. She, you know, was kind of under the radar for a little while, and so it's really cool to see her, you know.
I think she had kind of just taken a bit of a
down season.
Yeah, since Paris, I think the last time. Yeah, I think it was her first marathon since the Paris Olympics.
That's fair. I mean,
the
Olympics are tough. It's hard to come back after that. Anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. And Helen O'Beary, I guess, was wearing prototype shoes for the New York City Marathon.
Yeah, they're not Nikes. Who cares?
I know, but it is kind of it's kind of cool when like the shoe companies have like a prototype.
Oh, totally.
And it's just cool to see the shoe technology. Like
apparently Hassan,
Stefan Hassan.
Yeah, she was also wearing a Nike prototype. According to like I think I saw it on like Sidious or FlowTrack or something like that. But yeah, shoe technology is cool. I love shoes.
I know. Kyle's a big sneakerhead. Okay.
But hold on. Were you about to go away from the marathon?
I was.
Okay, we got to talk about something that I forgot about to mention.
Let's talk about it.
We got to absolutely shout out the GOAT.
Eliud Kipchoge.
Eliud Kipchoge completes all of the world major marathons. I mean, he's like 42 now.
Yeah.
And he's getting older. But I don't know. I just think the cool thing, he's been so good for so long that people are just so stoked to just still see him out there.
Yep.
And like that's kind of when you reach that like untouchable status when it's like no one really even cares like how well you do, and you still get talked about and you still get, you know, just I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
pumped up and now
the GOAT.
And he kind of has like soft retired too.
Yeah. Yep.
He's doing this thing where he's going to do like 7 marathons on 7 continents.
Cool.
Yeah. And I mean that's pretty sweet. It's like a world tour, so he'll run 7 marathons on 7 continents over 2 years.
Okay.
So he's kind of doing like a
slower.
No, I think it's just more like kind of like a soft retirement, you know. But he'll obviously always be, I mean, one of the greatest, if not the greatest runner of all time.
I mean, no one's ever broken 2 except for him.
No, that's not true.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Well, he is the GOAT, and he is the one that was pushing things. He's the one that they invented alpha flies for, basically.
Not for. They made it. He kind of like when it was like the whole breaking 2 thing. He was just like
the guinea pig.
Well, he was one of the 3 guys that was a part of breaking 2.
Right.
But he was like the really like kind of like the big star from it all.
The premier athlete.
Yeah. Like he just had like the mindset and. He's just so cool. He just has so much aura.
He's got so much aura. And he totally has the mindset, too. It's honestly, like, you listen to interviews of him, and he's just, like, dialed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like such a cool guy. Very genuine.
Did you see that video of the like, this random guy who was just, like, a huge fan? Did I show you that?
No, you didn't.
There was this random guy that was a huge Eliud Kipchoge fan. And literally, like, when he ran by where he was sitting in, like, New York during the marathon, he was like crying, and his like fiance or girlfriend like recorded a video, or maybe it was his wife, recorded a video of the guy, and he was like literally tearing up. And then like Eliud Kipchoge saw it, and then they invited this guy to come to Eliud's room and like meet him and gave him a jersey. I don't know. I mean,
That's special.
you
That's
can't,
really cool.
yeah, just like, that's like the, you know, I feel like the internet is not always the most positive place, but
Yeah.
those are like one of the things. It's like, oh, that's like really dope.
Yeah, you're so right. The internet is usually not a kind place, but it's really nice to see videos like that.
Yeah.
People getting to
yeah,
meet
I'll
their
show it to you
hero.
after. But that was cool.
That is
So,
super cool.
Yeah. So yeah, New York City Marathon, always a good one. And yeah, the Americans, I feel like, crushed it across the board, men
They
and
really
women's. And
Yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about actually, is I feel like we're like rounding the corner where maybe Americans weren't finishing super high in the past years. Where getting into the top 10 was kind of like maybe harder. But now I feel like every single major marathon we have killer Americans who are
Yeah.
consistently finishing in the top 10.
well, you see that on the track too, right?
I know, it's
Like on
true.
the men's side, and
Yeah,
the
but there's
women are
always-
closing the gap.
There's always like ups and downs, right? Where sometimes, you know, they're on fire, and sometimes there's like some down years where maybe Americans aren't necessarily performing as well as they did in the past.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying it's really cool to see this rising tide right now where people are just running really, really fast.
Yeah.
It's just cool.
Yeah, totally.
So it's a cool time to be paying attention to the sport.
Yep. I agree. All right. What was the next thing you wanted to talk about?
The next thing was actually the day before the New York City Marathon was the Abbott Dash to the Finish 5K.
Okay.
Hosted by the New York City Roadrunners Association. And it was pretty cool. To be perfectly honest, I didn't really pay that close attention to the men's race because I'm not really like as tuned into.
That's fair. I mean, the only thing that I really remember from the men's race was like Cole Sprout, I think, got second.
Yeah, so the top three finished within 2 seconds of each other, which is like pretty cool.
In the men's race?
Yeah, and so Amon Kemboy won with a 13:50, Cole Sprout was second with a 13:51, and Anthony Rotich was third with 13:52.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty close race, but I've heard this 5K is pretty hard. Like I've heard it's an uphill 5K, it
Yeah.
has an uphill finish. Obviously, like being on the road is just tough on your body.
Yeah, and the
so-
times aren't super fast either. So that
No,
reflects that.
it totally reflects that. And so good job, men. Cole Sprout, great job. Like that's a very impressive.
Yeah, I can't really remember his exact like accolades from college, but
He's a talented kid.
yeah, for sure. Colorado kid too.
Yeah, I know. We tried to get him at CU, but there was a down year at CU, so he wasn't interested. But it's okay. It all turned out okay, and he's crushing it. Go Nike, Team Nike,
Yep,
swoosh
Team
TC.
Nike.
And then the women's field was small and very elite. The top three finished within 2 seconds, similar to the men's race. Annie Rodenfeld won with a 15:33. I think this is like her second or third time winning.
Third time.
Yeah, third time winning, which is hard to do.
I think it's the first time anyone's ever done that in that race. Yeah, she's kind of the queen of that specific race.
She's really good at it. I mean, the course is tough. She has said that like doing that race, like having the experience matters.
Well, you experienced that with like Fifth Ave Mile, where
Totally.
you like not having the kind of the knowledge of running at race pace on the course. You felt like was kind of like difficult because you didn't know exactly. Even though you ran the course, it was like different running all out as a mile.
100%.
So
Yeah, so I totally understand like how experience would come into play for that.
mhm.
Winnie Colati was 15:34. Winnie's won that in the past as well, and so I'm sure it was a tough battle. And then actually the third place person was Ellie St. Pierre
Yeah, I mean,
after having a baby.
like recently.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
not that long ago.
yeah, she's such a stud.
She's such a stud.
Yeah, I mean,
And she had to
Mom-
outsprint
mom
Parker
strength.
Valby.
yeah, and Parker Valby's back after
Like
a
6
tough.
months off, basically.
I think like I mean, I don't think I think she ran once in indoors or twice in indoors, and then I think she's been hurt for a while.
Yeah.
So it's good to see her back.
She wants to do cross too. That's another person we missed on the list.
Yeah, or I don't know if she's gonna. Yeah, I think we saw something where she said she may or may not do cross. She said
Yeah.
she like depends
on
on
the
how
fence.
her training goes, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, One, yeah, obviously like great win over like really good competition for Annie Rodenfeld's three times winning that race, or yeah, 3 years in a row is like really impressive. And then yeah, and beating obviously like Weenie and Ellie is crazy.
And
but
Parker, she beat 3 Olympians to win, which is super impressive.
Yeah.
I guess Annie Rodenfeld now trains in Boulder.
Yeah, she's with Team Meridia, isn't she?
I think so, but it's kind of funny because like all these people train in Boulder, and I don't see any of them.
Well, yeah, but you're kind of in a bubble. You're in the CU bubble, but it's good to see Ellie back. It's good to see Parker back.
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how they continue to progress. And then it'd be cool to see like how Annie like goes into other races. Obviously. Like
totally
beating some good competition. Hopefully that gives her some confidence. I mean, I'm sure it does. And she can go crush it in some other races too.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think that definitely boosted up her confidence. One more quick thing about Abbott Dash.
Yeah.
Sage Herta Klecker was in the citizens race.
Oh, really? Oh, she was there because Joe was racing.
Yeah, and her whole team was there, like everyone from OAC.
On like flew like everyone out.
Literally everybody.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
For sports marketing purposes. And so Sage was like, "Oh, well, I'll just do it as like a hard tempo." But she's obviously very competitive, right? And so she actually, I think, was like I think she finished like 4th or 5th
in the citizens race
for the women in the citizens race.
Okay, so like 4 women beat her in the citizens race.
Yeah, but she still ran super fast. Like I think she ran like 16:20 something.
Oh yeah.
Which is super impressive, where it's like, okay, if that was your hard tempo, like I think that if Sage had been in the elite race,
she probably could have done even better.
Yes, because she's so competitive. I think she probably could have broken 16 if she was in the elite field, because she would have just been pulled along with everybody else.
Well, yeah, I'm sure she didn't peak for that either or anything.
No, I'm certain she didn't.
And she might not. I mean, who knows like what her training even looks like. So yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Apparently because I talked to one of the OAC athletes like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying that like, oh yeah, we just started meeting for practice.
Yeah.
So like they haven't been really training very much, and Sage just, casually gets like 4th in like a super competitive citizens race.
Well, I mean, even though she had like a breakout year in the 8, I mean, yeah. I think she mentioned somewhere that she was maybe going to go run the 15 next year. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, she was a national champion in the mile in college. I think she was
in the indoors, maybe.
Yeah. But I think in indoor.
And then
I don't know what she did outdoor.
She did well outdoor. I don't know. I think she was like a runner-up. That was her best finish, which is still amazing. I mean,
yeah. But moral of the story, she's good at the mile. My point was going to be, even though she had a breakout year in the 800, if she's running like a decent 5K off of like no training, like obviously she probably could run like a crazy mile too.
I think she got like crazy 15th at cross country nationals, which is a 6K. Like,
oh, when you guys won?
Yeah, when we won, she was like 16th or 17th.
I mean, you guys are all freakishly talented.
Well, I know
that team that you guys are on is like, holy shit.
I know. I'm just saying though that like Sage has crazy range, and while she's been on OAC, it's been like some of the only times that she hasn't had to stretch that range.
Well, I mean, think about you. Like, think about you've run like 1 5K in your pro career, right? And then like
no, because I ran that one in Tennessee.
Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't count. You weren't technically a pro then.
I was in 2020. Okay, I wasn't getting paid, but like I was dedicating my life to it. I've run 2 5Ks post collegiately. That's not crazy.
No, I was.
And they were, yeah.
Okay, you've run what, two 5Ks?
And I only ever ran 2 5Ks in college.
There you go. That's what I was gonna say though. But like at least in college there was cross, so it's a little bit different.
Yes.
Whereas like since you've been running on the track post collegiately, you've run like a handful of 1500s, a handful of 3Ks, 2 5Ks, and then all steeplechases. That's all I'm saying. It's just like you don't do a lot of variation. I
know, but I'm just saying like Sage has crazy range, and she clearly could crush it in like anything she wanted to do.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, that could be said for literally anyone who was on my team when we won the championship. I mean, even McKenna Morley.
I think everyone on your team
went pro.
Went pro besides one person. 2 people.
2 people
technically, but like
yeah.
I mean that's insane.
Right. But anyways, I was saying that like even McKenna Morley was doing marathons, and now she's stepping up to ultra trail running. And so it's just like even someone like McKenna has crazy range.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you guys are just fucking talented. Like, you guys are talented, and I think all you work hard as shit. So
Okay, yes.
when you combine talented and hardworking people, it's like, oh, they're good at this and they're all good at all this other shit. Shocker.
Okay. Wow.
No,
It's true.
I'm
It's
just
true.
saying.
Yeah.
It's just like that's the
Well,
facts.
it's just cool because like sometimes it's hard to translate your talent to the next level.
No, for sure.
And
For
so,
sure. Obviously, it's like you wouldn't expect Sage to be, for example, like super elite, but if she trained for it, she probably could be.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
Just like you and
Yeah, Kyle's always telling me like you
Tabor.
could run a crazy 1500.
yeah, or crazy 5K probably too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like it's all about kind of like where you focus and like what you're interested in.
You're
you
right.
know?
You're right.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Next topic.
next topic. Was it one I wanted to talk about?
Sure.
Okay. So one of the things that we missed when
A couple weeks ago.
was I guess it was like a week ago. It was like on November 4th. They like World Athletics announced like Athlete of the Year finalists.
Oh yeah.
And on the women's side, there was a couple people that were not included in the finalists that like were pretty crazy. Like Melissa Jefferson was not included.
And in case you forget who Melissa Jefferson Wooden is, she is the world champion in the 100 and the 200.
Yeah, and the 4x1.
The 4x1. So
Yeah.
she's a 3-time world champion, and she wasn't nominated.
Yep, and then Beatrice Chibet was left off the list.
If you don't know who Beatrice
and
Chibet, if you don't know who Beatrice Chibet is, she's a world champion in the 10K and the 5K.
Yeah, but not even that. She broke the 5K world record and was the first person ever to break 14 minutes, which is fucking insane.
Yeah. And she wasn't nominated.
Yeah, crazy. Not nominated there. And then like I guess
Faith Kipyegon.
Yeah, Faith Kipyegon wasn't. I think the really big one is definitely like Melissa Jefferson. But yeah, like Faith broke the world record in the 15 at pre and wins the
and ran the world record in the mile in Paris at that Nike pop-up thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't count because it wasn't sanctioned, but she still
No, yeah. I mean, she's obviously insane.
Yeah. And she was world champion in the 1500 and runner-up in the 5K.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so basically Femke Bol and Sydney McLaughlin-Lavroni were nominated for finalists for track, which are both incredible athletes. And I think Sydney should definitely be in that conversation for sure. And I think Femke definitely arguably could, but yeah, it seems like a robbery to not include Melissa, especially Melissa. I mean, and I think
and Beatrice.
Yeah, for sure. I think you could get on. You could get on. And be like really adamant about any of those three that they should have been on there, and I think you'd have Melissa to me is like the biggest one, but if someone else was like Faith, you'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Or someone else was like Chibet, be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Do you want to hear my conspiracy theory now?
Oh, all right. Running conspiracy theory. Go ahead.
Think about what Melissa, Faith, and Beatrice have in common, and then think about what Femke and Sydney have in common.
Oh, you think it's a sponsor thing?
It could be a sponsor thing because only two New Balance, and New Balance only sponsors like a handful of people.
Yeah, they do only sponsor a handful of people.
And Nike sponsors the other three women who very much also deserved. And the other three women were multiple time, except for Faith, but Melissa and Beatrice are multiple time world champion. I guess Sydney's multiple, and so is Femke because they were on relays. But relays are kind of like, okay, well, who was on your team? Like, when did they hand you the baton?
Yeah, I mean, I guess anything's possible, but
it's a conspiracy.
It could also just, I mean, obviously like Sydney and Femke are like extremely popular runners. So like, or just generally in the like general overview of all things. They're incredibly
They're well known and they have big social media.
yeah, I mean, Sydney's arguably could be easily. I mean, Melissa Jefferson could well be on her way to like superstardom, like
For sure.
like where Sydney's at. But Sydney's obviously in the sport of track and field is probably the biggest name.
Yes.
Like generally, like and is well known well outside of track and field. Kind of like what's her face?
Gabby Thomas.
Yeah, I was thinking. What's the other sprinter? I'm blanking on her name.
Sha'Carri.
Yeah, Sha'Carri. She's she was in a Drake. Yeah, she was in a Drake song. Let's go. That's a terrible high five. Do that again. Nice. All right. If you watch the video, you can see us be idiots and not be able to high five. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of just crazy. I don't know how you win 3 gold medals. You set the world lead, like destroy the competition. Yeah, she didn't set a world record, but like
Neither did
you have
Femke.
yeah, but you have 2 people that set world records and they're not even on the list.
Yep.
Like crazy. And then also like on the field, like Valerie Allman, however many world championships, she also kind of got snubbed and didn't make the list for the field events.
She's an Asics girly. Maybe if she was a New Balance girly,
Okay.
she would have gotten it.
Val's getting too deep, but yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah, they're wearing the coolest shit. So, no, I'm saying not. I'm saying like Chibet.
Yeah,
and
Chibet and Faith and Melissa are definitely wearing the coolest shit.
Yes, maybe they're like, oh,
we feel bad for these girls that are wearing these weird East Coast preppy stuff.
Yeah. But I think that's crazy. I don't know exactly how those were selected, but yeah, bad choice. Choices.
Yeah, like if you want to give it to Sydney, fine, but like at least pretend like it's performance based and include Melissa as well.
Well, it also seems like it would be like to look at that objectively, like if you're comparing Sydney and Femke, like Sydney has to get it because Sydney ran an off event and won and ran the American record, and like Femke, yes, she did really well. She won the 400 hurdles, but like I think everyone knows that if Sydney was doing that event, she probably would have won. So it's like seems like
maybe set another world record because it'd be
right.
just breaking her own
right. So
PR.
It's so yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, like it would be cool because if Melissa, Beatrice Chibet, and Faith were all there, and you included Sydney, it'd be like, okay, I could kind of see like a fair conversation that any of them could have won.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I don't even think Femke's in that conversation personally, but I think that you can, depending on your perspective.
She was on the mixed relay and
no, she races a ton. She's a stud.
Yeah,
I love Femke.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if I don't know if you can weight it the same. But personally, I think you could make an argument that she is. But I don't think you can make an argument that she wins out of those other 4, is my point. But, like, I would argue that the other 3 that aren't even included have a better claim to being the athlete of the year, and they're not even nominated. It's insane.
It's always a popularity contest, I swear.
Yeah.
Like, your followers on Instagram make a big difference, and in some ways, they make a bigger difference than your performances on the track. And we've seen that.
Well, but a lot of that is generated from your performances on the track.
True, but there definitely are some people who are very popular online and get opportunities and financial benefits.
Yeah, obviously.
It's not purely about performance. Like there are.
Yeah. No, that's true. Everyone knows that.
But obviously
there's nuances now.
These women
social media
that we're talking about, they're all world champions.
Yeah. It's not to take anything away from anyone. It's just to say that 3 people that should have been included were not included.
Yeah.
And I would say the reason why Melissa should be not only nominated, but also win is look at how dominant.
I know.
Like Beatrice and Faith have been really good for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, it wasn't like a breakout year. But if you look at Melissa, she went from getting 3rd last year in the 100 at the Olympics, which is still incredible, to dominating this year, all year, in every event. And like, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, I just think from a track and field news of things to talk about, that was kind of one of the things that I want to talk about. But yeah, unless you have anything else, that was kind of all I wanted to specifically mention on that.
Nope.
All right, the last thing from a running news perspective. Well, I guess there's one other thing, but it's not like running news. It's more like whatever. Anyways, one of the other things we want to talk about was there's recently been some things that have come to light about some people getting caught for doping, which is obviously just always sad. And I mean, I don't even really think we need to mention the names. If you follow the sport closely enough, there's a sprinter and then a marathoner who were caught. And it's always just kind of just sad, I think, just in general, to see people in the sport cheating. But one of the things that was common between both of the athletes, and again, I don't really think it's necessary to bring up their names. I don't even honestly like give them any more like, you know, time talking about than they need. But one of the things that I don't really understand just personally, and I don't really like, both of these athletes, the sprinter and the marathoner that were caught for doing drugs, both like admitted that they had done drugs.
They pled guilty.
Yeah. Well, no, they like said like, yeah, I did actually take these drugs or whatever. And they got a year off of their ban, which is just, I don't really think is great for, I just don't see the purpose of that. Like, they were going to get a ban one way or another. Like, their drug tests said, right, hey, they had these things on their drug test. We know that something was going on. We know that they were cheating. Why are we saying, oh, they're confirming what we already knew was a fact? Why are we giving them a year less ban? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I agree.
And I think it's a little discouraging. Like,
yeah.
Oh, just because you were like honest, like you were being dishonest this whole time.
You were literally cheating and making a lot of money and taking that money from athletes who are clean. And they're not required to give that money back.
Well, unless they get caught in a time frame. Well, right. Yeah. Both people had performances that were really good.
They won a lot of money.
Yeah, and neither of those things but get their performances don't get disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
And like the records still stand, which is like another thing is completely insane. If you set a world record and you get caught for doing drugs,
I think if you get caught for doing drugs, everything that you've ever done needs to be completely erased.
I think in a reasonable time frame. If it's like close enough, like both athletes, one a sprinter, one a marathoner, both had really good performances, and then like in the next year got caught. But because they didn't get caught before or like close enough after, those performances aren't disqualified. But it's like, oh yeah, they didn't start doing the drugs before those. Like, come on, like what are we, 4 years old? Like we know, everyone knows that they were doing something. Like, oh, they had their best performances ever and they weren't taking drugs when they did those. It's like, yes, I mean, of course it's possible, but it's unlikely.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think that if you get caught cheating, everything that you've ever done should be erased.
I'm saying in a reasonable time frame. Like be like, okay.
No, I don't even think that it could be. I think that like if you cheat, if you choose to cheat,
yeah,
you are throwing away your integrity. You're basically saying that like, I'm going to take this money and I'm going to take these opportunities away from clean athletes and I don't care. And by doing that, why should we give you anything in return for that? If you're willing to steal from other athletes, like be dirty and take opportunities away from people, when you get caught, everything that you've ever done should be deleted. I think that should happen no matter when it was. Like if you cheated, if you didn't, like let's say hypothetically, you didn't cheat for 4 years and then on the 5th year you decided you were going to start cheating, even those things you did 4 years before you started cheating, I don't think it should count. Because if you were the type of person to cheat, then you don't deserve to have any of that stuff up there.
Well, I kind of also think it's like, and I think a lot of people feel this way, it's like, if you cheat, you should probably just get a lifetime ban too.
I agree.
Like these things where And I know you can argue that there's nuances and like whatever.
But there are certain things that just aren't nuanced. Like,
No. I agree. I just think
like the evidence that came out against one of these people became publicly available somehow. And reading through it, you're like,
no, yeah. I mean,
this is
I
ridiculous.
think
Like,
the AIU or whatever, they make it public.
Yeah, and it's like this person.
They make a report.
Yeah, they make a report, and it's like this person was cheating. Like, there was no nuance about it. It was like very concrete evidence that this person was doing drugs knowingly and willingly. And it's like, okay, if you have literally all of the evidence that it's beyond reasonable doubt, then yes, lifetime ban I think is totally fine. But I do think there are nuances. Like when Ali Ostrander was accidentally using, a medication that had some masking agent in it that she didn't know about. And
Yeah. Like, no, for sure. There's stuff like that.
Totally. And it's like, I do not believe with any bone in my body that Ali Ostrander would cheat. Like, I know her. Yeah. She has great integrity. I don't believe she would do that. And so hearing her story about this, mistake, it's like, okay, well, we don't want to ban her for life.
No. That's what I'm saying. But like, if you're certain beyond a reasonable doubt,
agreed,
that someone has cheated, lifetime ban.
Yep.
Disqualify their performances, or like what I was saying is like reasonable time period. So it's like at least like 2 years. 1 or 2 years, like retroactively.
Yep.
I would say minimum. Like don't be naive and be like, oh yeah, there is no way. Anyways.
The real thing that would get people is if before big races with big purses, or even in their contracts, they sign their name saying that if they're caught cheating and this race or this contract was like affiliated with them, then that organization can sue them for that money back. I think that would maybe fix it, because a lot of these athletes cheat to get the money, obviously.
Well, yeah, there's obviously, especially on the road, there's huge. I mean, there's
even on the track,
if you're the best runner or one of the best runners, there's obviously money involved. And anytime there's money involved, there's going to be there always this possibility of corruption or unfair tactics, whatever it is. But yeah, I think moral of the story is it's lame. One, you're just a loser if you cheat. Like, there's a lot of people that, do this stuff fairly and put their heart and souls in this stuff. And I understand there's nuances that, people can justify why they do it, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, it's lame. And if you cheat beyond reasonable doubt, there's all the evidence in the world. Why are we saying, oh, because someone admitted to cheating, even though we knew they were cheating?
And they knew they were cheating.
Yeah, it's like, who cares? Why are we giving them a year off their suspension?
I know.
Like,
so
it's clearly, like, they clearly are they're admitting to it to get a year off their ban, so then they can come back and compete again.
And who's to say they're not going to cheat again?
Well, who knows about that? Like, regardless of that, but it's like clearly like they're just trying to get back to the sport sooner, or have the option to come back to the sport sooner. And yeah, you could make an argument that that's probably monetarily related and whatever. But moral of the story, I don't really understand. One, obviously, they're retroactively, they should get their stuff removed.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, at least a year or two, if not, like, to your point, much longer. And they probably should get banned for life, especially in cases where there's like very clear, without it, beyond a shadow of a doubt, like very obvious cheating. But yeah, the fact that we're just like giving people a year off their ban for admitting guilt is, to me, that just seems insane.
I agree. I think it's people are getting off way too easy.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But, yeah. I think the last thing we wanted to talk about was a final thing from a running perspective was the NCAA cross. It's getting into championship season. So
actually this coming weekend is regionals.
Yeah.
And 2 weekends ago was conference, and CU did really well at conference, I think, for both men and women.
Yeah.
The men did really well. They got third
Yep.
at conference, which is huge because they actually rested 2 of their top 5 men. And so for, the 6th and 7th and 8th guy and 9th, I guess, to all step up and really like run their hardest is huge. And they got a lot of points from that because they beat some really good teams, and they only got beat by, the top 2 teams in the country. And so I think that that's like really great. And I'm so excited to see how they do at regionals. Obviously, they have to make the step up from an 8K to a 10K.
Yep.
And it's taking place in Salt Lake City, which is at altitude. But I think our guys have got it. I think they just need to keep level heads and, be laser focused on nationals. I think they should be able to pretty easily be top 4 at regionals. And so that'll get them an automatic bid for nationals. And if they get 5th, they definitely have enough points from their good performances in the other races they've done this year to be able to get an at-large. But Mountain West is easily like, one of the best regions.
Yeah, it's a super tough region.
So
for sure.
that'll be really good. And then the women's team at conference, I think did pretty well. I think they got like 5th at conference.
Just trying to look. I'll try to find it. I think it was like 5th or 6th.
And I think that it was pretty good because we rested one of our women who should probably be in the top 5 for that race. And our top woman kind of had like I would say, she would probably say it too, kind of like an off day. But, it's tough this time of the year. People are getting sick. Lots of stuff is going on, right? Like all these athletes are studying for midterms and finals. And so I think that given everything that's going on, the CU women placing that
Women
high,
take 5th.
Yeah, 5th at conference, I think is really good. And considering where they were last year,
it's pretty incredible. I was talking to Carlson about that, and it's like,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, to see the turnaround in 1 year,
it's huge.
Yeah, it's super impressive. So huge kudos to the coaching staff, and hopefully they can.
They should be able to get through to nationals. I think they're going to have to push pretty hard at regionals though, because it's not quite in the same situation as the men. Like
women, they'll be good. They'll be good.
Because I think that they should be able to get 4th at regionals if they, are kind of on their game. And even if they get 5th, they've been running well all year. I feel like they have enough points that they should be able to get in at an at-large if they can't get an auto. But
I can't. I don't even know how
I don't know how it works exactly.
The points ranking system even works.
But they should be able to get through.
Yeah. They'll get through. I don't think I haven't really heard that that's been like a major concern.
No.
But
Carlson's just paranoid.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, but I think that just speaks to like how much he cares about the program and, how devastating it was for him last year. The team that he inherited that was just really not in a position to.
It was a tough situation.
Yeah, and so it's just.
But I think 1 year turnaround, as good as they've had, and really like I think they only have one on the men's side. They only have one new person.
Yeah. Yep.
So
they have
super impressive.
They have 2 new guys. We got 2 transfers.
Yeah.
Who are currently in the top 5, and so
But everyone else in the top 7 is returning.
a returner.
Yeah.
And so it's really cool. And even on the women's side, we only have 2 returners who are in the top 5. But they finished 1-2 at conference. And so I think that like clearly Carlson's training is working for the people who have stayed and bought in and who are committed. And it's also working for a lot of the transfers that we were able to pull in. But I definitely think that, from my own personal experience too, like for the women, this first year with this training is hard, but then the second year it really sinks in and it starts to click. And so I think that CU, and we won't graduate anyone. Well, we'll graduate 1 person from the top 5 next year on the women's team. Other than that, we're bringing back like 6 people who are in the top 7 in our women's cross team. And so I think that next year CU could be super, super good.
Yeah.
With that development.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. It's exciting. And I'll give a quick shout out. Western's men qualified. They got 4th at regionals. They got 3rd at conference. They're actually pretty good this year from the results I've been seeing. So shout out to my boys at Western. And I think the girls finished 5th regionals, so they need to get in on points, but I think they should because same thing for CU. Their conference in D2 is like the toughest conference.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I'll be interested to see, but yeah, the men seem pretty strong, so it'll be really interesting to see how the Western men do at D2 Nationals. So I'll be looking at that. So shout out Western as well. Yeah. So anyways, I think we should end it maybe with a quick conspiracy theory. I could give one. It's not really a conspiracy theory.
Give me your conspiracy theory.
It's not really a conspiracy theory. It's more like currently relevant. But have we talked about how there might be like an AI bubble, like in the stock market?
You can briefly explain it to me. I've heard of it, but not from you.
Okay. I mean, bubbles like kind of are conspiracy theories because like for anyone who doesn't know, a bubble is basically there's like an overinflation of like the value in the stock market essentially. But the point of it being a bubble, of calling it a bubble, is that no one knows it's actually a bubble. You don't know it's a bubble until the bubble pops and then like the stock market goes down. But basically the reason why that people think there might be a tech bubble specifically with AI is essentially there's all these companies that are like basically working together. So essentially like, for example, right, like NVIDIA makes the chips that fuels all the AI, and then like there's companies like Oracle that have all of the data centers that all these businesses, and then you have businesses like OpenAI who like buy the chips and then use the data centers, right? But essentially what's happening is like OpenAI will be like, hey, NVIDIA, we want to buy like $1 billion in chips. And then NVIDIA takes that money and then like gives it to like Oracle, and then Oracle gives it back. I guess like the easiest way to say it is like, imagine you paid someone to dig a hole, right? You paid someone $1,000 to dig a hole, right? And then they dig the hole, you pay them $1,000, and then they pay you $1,000 back to fill in the hole. So basically what's happening is they're not like creating real like revenue. It's just right. Exactly. They're just like passing it around, which is like, so it makes it look good for their businesses. It's like, oh, we have all this revenue, but in reality, it's not
just passing dollars back and forth.
Correct. So
yikes.
Anyways,
that's a good conspiracy theory.
Yeah. I probably didn't explain it the best, but I think that filling in the hole, filling out the hole is like the best, or digging out a hole, filling it in, and just like passing the money back and forth and then like documenting it as revenue is like the best way to like explain it. So essentially that's like inflating these companies like on paper value, but it's not real revenue.
Dang. Well,
so
it very well could be happening.
Yeah, not to be like a doomsdayer, but hopefully there's not. Essentially, like if anyone's not familiar, if there is a bubble and it pops, that can sometimes lead to
a financial crisis.
Yeah, or like a recession. Yeah.
Or a depression.
No, okay. Hopefully not that. That would fucking suck.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that would be awful.
But yeah, hopefully that's not the case. And hopefully everyone, which is a lot of people, are just wrong. But yeah, anyway, so I've been kind of following along with that. So not really a conspiracy theory, more of like a modern economic speculation. Hey,
no.
Yondu.
He jumped in front of the camera. Sorry, guys.
But yeah, so that's I don't think I've really contributed on the this is an episode where maybe we start kicking the cats out again.
Yeah, because
we started letting them in because they were being annoying outside of the room, and now this episode they're being annoying inside the room. Well, so that's cool.
Because they want a snack.
Whatever.
Because I give them
They're
little
losers.
snack.
Little orange annoying losers.
I have a conspiracy theory.
Okay, go ahead.
Somebody told me that house cats are different than like big cats that live outside. There's like certain characteristics, like the way their eyeballs are, like a slit pupil.
Okay.
And obviously like they like us, right?
Uh-huh.
And like a bobcat would tear me to shreds, but these kitties just want to like sleep on my lap.
Uh-huh.
And so the conspiracy theory is that like aliens
Oh Jesus.
gave the Egyptians cats.
Okay.
And then the
What would be the
Egyptians-
incentive for aliens to give the Egyptians cats?
I don't know. Maybe they were just like, yo, these things are sick. We think you'd like them a lot. And then the Egyptians were like, fuck yeah, we're going to worship these little things.
Okay.
So that's my conspiracy theory.
So that Egyptians gave
No, the aliens.
aliens gave Egyptians cats.
Yes.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Good segue. I talk about
The apocalypse.
current economic relevant, and then you discredit it by talking about aliens giving Egyptians cats. Thanks. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, that's funny. That's funny.
This is conspiracy eerie, not like
Conspiracy eerie?
conspiracy eerie. Conspiracy theory.
No, that's a funny one.
It's a good conspiracy theory.
I
Yours
mean,
is, like,
if
scary.
aliens gave humans cats, that's pretty dope. Cats are pretty cool, so I do like cats. Val's kind of made me into a cat person. I grew up with dogs. I guess I grew up with a dog and a cat, but I always had a dog. My sister always had cats. So.
Dogs are just a lot of work, and
That's the biggest difference. The dogs are a lot of work.
But cats require more like emotional.
I don't think that's true. I think dogs are very needy.
Yeah, but in like a "can you touch me?" where cats are like they want something else from you, and you have to figure it out. And sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong.
Yeah, they can just be assholes.
That's true. Like our poor little Rocky boy. He was sad because I wasn't playing with him, so he started throwing stuff around the house.
Yeah, like in the middle of the night, which is my favorite. When something just crashes and wakes me up, I'm like, dude, what the hell?
Kyle's like, "Are we getting robbed right now?" No,
yeah,
it's a
pulling
rocket.
out the Glock.
Okay,
no, I'm just
chill,
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. Anyways, no, cats are cool. AI bubbles are not cool.
Aliens giving us cats is even cooler.
Cool. Melissa Jefferson not getting nominated for Athlete of the Year.
Not
cool. Buff's doing well. Cool. Yeah. Anyways, well, that's all I got. I think that's like almost an hour. Like right on the nose. So
perfect stuff.
we're back in the saddle. Hopefully we'll have another guest soon. We'd like to have another guest soon. But yeah.
I'll close this out.
Yeah, close this out, dog.
To everyone who's made it this far, thank you so much for watching this episode. It really means a lot to us. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. That really helps the channel. If you're on Spotify, rate the pod 5 stars only.
Yeah, don't give us 4. No, I'm just kidding. You can give us whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah,
5 stars would be cool.
We just like the interactions. And then if you have any questions for us, please just drop a comment in, Spotify or YouTube or,
Yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know if there's a guest that you'd like to see us have us on.
Totally. We're open to suggestions, comments, criticism. Just, let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah. If you think having the cats in here was distracting this episode, let us know.
And we'll kick those little fluffers out.
Yeah. Those mother fluffers. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you on the next pod. Peace.